Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. And I trust you have watched our previous videos um, on Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel, and Microsoft Word. Right. So today we're actually going to be looking at a wonderful tool in Microsoft Excel that is known for um, automating tasks, right? And it's called the VLOOKUP, all right? So the VLOOKUP, it stands for Vertical Lookup. So it is used to search for a value in the first column of a table and then returns a value in the same row from a specified column. So take a look at these data sets now, all right? We want to get the items here. We have the unit sold, the unit quantity sold, and so we have another table here that gives us the item, the unit cost, and the unit price. So we want a situation whereby I don't need to come here and write the unit cost or the unit price. I just want a situation whereby I'll just click on, any of these. I would click on this box, and then I can select from this option either it's a pen I want, or a pencil I want, or a binder. All right. So we are going to first of all create a drop down list. Like as you can see here, we have a list. We have the list of things we ought to do here. So the first one says create a drop down list, right? Create a drop down list for all items that were sold, all right, in the column that allows the sales rep to select from the group of items sold at. So what we are going to use or do here is what? The data validation. So let's go and see how we can do that. So I'm going to highlight all of these cells here where I want my list to show, right? So I'm going to come to the data menu here. I click on data, and I'll go to data validation. And so it's asking me, what do you want to allow? I don't want any Dick and Harry to just come here and write anything. Yeah, I just want specific things, which is what the those lists that we have in the other table below. So I'm going to come here and say what I'll click on list. I'll click on this any value and select what list. And when I've done that, I'm going to say I'm going to select. It's now going to ask for source. So I'm going to come, I want to go and reference that table. So you see this arrow pointing up here. I'm going to click on it, and then I'll scroll down and I'll select all of these here. Now that I have done this, I can now, you see this arrow is now pointing downwards. Now I'll click on the arrow and I'll say, okay. So what this means now is, if I come here, if I come to any of these cells here, and you can see this drop arrow has now popped up, I'll click on it and I can select maybe pen, or the next one I can come here and select pencil, the next one I can come here and select binder. So now let's go back to what we started with. That's the vertical lookup, the VLOOKUP in Excel. So VLOOKUPs actually helps you save a ton of time. All right. So again, what we want to achieve is we just want a situation whereby we have all our unit costs based on the item selected here. The unit cost just pops up. So like I said, the formula we are going to be using is what? Equals to VLOOKUP, brackets open. Now it's asking, what are we looking for? The lookup value. Remember, the lookup value is what? This cells here in this column. So I'm going to select this first one. Now, comma, it says, what's the table array? Where are you looking for this value? Where are you looking for it? We are looking for it where? Here. So I'm going to select everything here. All right. And I'll say comma. Now it's asking you, in what particular column are you looking for? So remember what we are looking for here is the unit cost, right? So which of the columns here do we have unit cost? It's in column 2. So if you count from the left, 1, 2. So I'll now come here and say column index number 2. You can see? And I'll say comma. Now it's asking for the range lookup. Do you want an approximate match or an exact match? Now let me just explain. So the approximate match, what it does actually is, assuming what we are looking for is say 70.5 or something, you know. So Excel would look for the approximate. Let's assume what we are looking for is 70.5. So it's going to look for the closest to 70.5 here and approximate it and then return that value. But however, that's not what we want. We want an exact match. We want the exact values here, the exact unit cost, the exact unit price. So what do we do? So we are going to come here and select exact match, which is what? False. So I'll double click on this and you can see it has what? It has been pasted here. So I'll simply do what? I'll close my bracket and say what? Enter. So now you can see Excel has told me that pen that you selected as the item, the unit cost here is what? Pencil. Now let's see if this works. If I decide to change this pen, if I change it to pencil, let's see what happens. Can you see it has brought in the value for pencil? If we change it to binder, let's see. It has brought out the unit cost for what? Binder. You see how easy this is? Now, I could come here now and I'm going to try to work with this. I would do the same thing here for the purpose of emphasis, right? So I'm saying equals to VLOOKUP, bracket open. What's our lookup value? Remember, any value that's here. So, comma. What's the table array? Where are we looking for it in? We're looking for it in this column, in this table. This is our table array. So I'll select everything here. I'll go back up, comma. Column index number. What are we looking for? The unit price. So which column here is, we'll count 1, 2, 3. So it's in column 3. So I'm going to go back and say 3, comma. Now it's asking for what? Is the match type. Is it true? Is it approximate match or exact match? So for us, again, remember the explanation I gave is what? Exact match. So I'm going to click on this and then I would close. And I'll say what? Enter. So you see, if I change this binder to pen, it will give me 80 and what? 120 as the unit price. And we can confirm that here, that the unit price 120 and the pen unit cost is what? $80. All right. So to ensure that this is effected across board, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this. Well, let me show you what we want to do before I do the corrections. If I drag this down all through, let's see. Can you see? It's giving. So this is how Excel works. When you try to, in a later video, I'm going to explain the concept of cell referencing. All right, the concept of cell referencing. Now, here's how cell referencing works. Remember, we wrote our formula in this first cell here, and then I dragged down. Dragging down means I want to, whatever I did in this first cell, I want to bring it what? Down to everybody here. So I don't have to write the formula over and over again. All right. So what do we do? Now that we did it, but take a look at our formula. If I open this formula, see our range. Remember this, our table range, B53 to D56. If you come down here, this is B53 to D56. You can see the first one here is B column B, row 53. And then this is column D, row 56. But now let's check this one we did here. Can you see what's happening? This is B54 to D57. And as you can see, Excel has shifted down, because what you did here was when you drag down, Excel felt that, oh, okay, as you drag down means you want to keep on dragging this table down too. But that's not what we want. So what we want to do now is we want to lock in Excel. We call it locking. We want to absolute reference this. So absolute referencing is a type of referencing in Excel. So we want to reference this particular table. So what do we do? We'll go back to our first um, column here. I'll open this, and then what do we want to lock? Remember, is the range of cell. That's that table array. So I'll come to this B53 here, and on my keyboard I'll press F4. Now you can see what has happened. When I press F4, it brought in a dollar sign in front of B as a column and in front of 53 as a column. So it means that Excel, I don't want you to move from column B to column C or column A. I don't also want you to move from row 53 to row 54. So I want you to be constant in that point there. The same thing for D56. I'm going to press F4 again. So I have locked D as a column and 56 as a row. So it means that I've made that range of cell what? A constant. So now I can say enter, and then I can do what? I can drag down. And now that I have dragged down, let's open any of these one and see the formula. So you see we have B53 and D56. Okay? So now this is saying NA here. I'll tell you why. But before we do this, I want us to do the same thing we did here. Remember, we need to lock the table array. So I'm going to come here and click on B53 and say F4 and go to D56, and also I will say F4 and I'll say what? Enter. So now I can now drag this down through. Okay, so I'm just going to duplicate. Let's see, I'm just going to duplicate this because of time. I'm just going to duplicate this, and can you see immediately I duplicated it, all the values started showing. Can you see? So I'm going to do that again for these ones, the remaining ones here. And you see the values have shown. Why? Because we have used VLOOKUP to do what? To use the exact match to get the values. So anywhere you see pen, give me the unit cost for pen. Anywhere you see binder, give me the unit price for what? Binder. It's that easy. It's that simple. All right. So now, the next column here, the next question here says, create a total column with automated formula for unit cost. That's what we have just done. Then the next thing says, create dummy data to fill up all the item and calculate the total cost. So we have created our dummy data. That is all of this here. So now to get the total cost, right? So total cost is going to be what? Unit cost multiplied by the unit quantity sold, right? So remember in Excel, before you write any formula, you start with equals to. So equals to unit cost multiplied by unit quantity sold. Enter. So it's telling us that the total cost for this pen, for this amount, is what? $2,720. So I'm just going to drag this down so that it can affect all across board here. All right. So for total revenue, I'll do the same, equals to unit price minus quantity sold. All right. So drag down again, and we have all the value. So I'll just do a little explanation about total cost and total revenue. So total cost is how much you have bought this item. Say you buy you buy a pen for 10 naira, and then you are into business, you want to sell, and you now decide to sell at 15 naira. So the unit cost, all right, the unit cost is what? 10 naira. While your unit price that you want to sell out is what? 15 naira. So at the end of the day, to get the total revenue would be the unit price multiplied by the unit quantity sold, and then to get your profits will be total revenue minus total cost. So to get our profit here, we will say equals to revenue, that's this, minus total cost. And we'll say what? Enter. And then we can drag down. All right. So we have we have we want to get the total package, the total how much we are earning for the total cost. So I will just say equals to sum bracket open. I'm going to select everything here, right? And I'll close my bracket and say enter. So it's telling me that the total sum of the cost here is what? $197,040 what dollars. The average, I would say equals to average bracket open. Would select everything here again. Bracket close, enter. You're telling me that the average price is what? 4,582. So all I just need to do is I'll highlight this to remember cell referencing again. I'll just take to the right. So the same value it used here is going to apply it here and for the last one. So this is the profit we have made so far, and then this is what the average profit we have made. All right. So we've come to the end of today's brief lecture, and I trust that you've been able to understand how you can use VLOOKUP to mitigate repetitive tasks. Assuming we wanted to do this without the VLOOKUP, we will just come here and be writing. We'll write, okay, pen $80. We'll scroll down again to confirm. Oh, okay, it's $80. You scroll up again. Oh, it is $120 as the unit price. We'll scroll down again. Ah, 120 really. So we'll go up. You're going to keep wasting time. You're going to keep wasting time and time and time again. So the VLOOKUP is a very good tool that you can actually use, and we can make this work. So if you have found this video helpful, please do make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more tutorials and tips like this. And please, if you do have any questions or topics you would like to reach us or you'd like for us to cover, or you can just drop them in the comments below. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Gracias.